My name is Jeff Lazarus. I work at the World Health Organization in the Sexually Transmitted Infections HIV/AIDS program for Europe. Clearly, both HIV and hepatitis C are much more than medical problems. We recognized this early on in HIV, which is one of the reasons UNAIDS was created, so that the 10 UN co-sponsors covering all kinds of issues from food security and youth and drug use and women's groups and so on would be well represented. And the same with the case of hepatitis C. I mean, earlier on it was a problem that affected more the general population. Now, in Europe at least, incidence is very much concentrated among injecting drug users, and it goes back to the core of why do people inject drugs, or why do people inject drugs unsafely? And if we can't stop injecting drug use, we can certainly ensure that the necessary equipment and tools are in place to make sure that that drug use is done safely and hepatitis is prevented. Correlation is a relatively young network, so it remains to be seen how successful you, or I say all of us, will be. But by bringing all of these key players together, it's a good forum to exchange experiences, but also to talk about what are the next steps and what are the concrete next steps, because many of us meet in many places around the world, and we really need to take urgent action, particularly with regards to hepatitis B and C in Europe. What's been most impressive is hearing some of the users speak out and tell the real stories of their contact with health services and with social services, rather than hearing more of the theoretical-based work that some of the researchers and international people are carrying out. Today we had a very good session on hepatitis C. I would have liked for a few more participants to be there, but we had around 25, 30 people. And we had excellent presentations from the president of the European Liver Patients Association, ELPA, from the Central European Harm Reduction Network, and from HOPE here in Sofia. So we got sort of three different levels of work being done, and we had a really good conversation at the end with the participants about what we can do at a European level, what we can do at the national and sometimes the community level, and also some next steps to take, which also include involving and working closely with the Global Fund to try and expand harm reduction to also cover equipment that would be required to prevent the spread of hepatitis C. You asked about World Hepatitis Awareness Day for this Monday, and the theme again is to get tested. And in our discussion in the hepatitis C session earlier today, someone raised the issue of why should we get tested if there's no treatment. So the main message for policymakers is that people who are living with an infectious disease need to get tested, but they also need to get treated.